Of local government. The Premier is also responsible for the overall coordination of government. And the Premier has got a portfolio committee accounts to, the department accounts to, which is the office of the Premier Portfolio Committee that is chaired by Honorable Madloba. That also gives us an opportunity to deal with issues of local government. There is the Finance Portfolio Committee, which also deals with the part that you would find in Treasury and also in COGTA that deals with with the work of municipalities. But I think we must raise it, AG, that of course, whilst we may be understanding from our own side, I don't think that the South African Local Government Association and the rest of the practitioners in the local government are understanding that there is, through FIS, we have to go there, and also through the oversight visits that the COGTA Portfolio Committee has to conduct so that they can understand the work of the COGTA MEC. I think that there's still a gap that I want to invite the AG working together with us to support democracy also from your own side, that we make it understood, to be understood by the practitioners in the local government sector, that this parliamentary oversight and accountability that we are practicing as a legislature is not very blinkered. And the Constitution, in its wisdom, said that we have to have standing rules and mechanism. The legislative sector, we might not have the legislative sector bill, but we have a sector oversight model that we have adopted that the AG now also considered when doing our own audits. And if then at local government, there is no real understanding and linkages of the work of the finance, the Premier Portfolio Committees in the work of municipalities, and to a larger extent, there is a portfolio committee of economic development and the other one of environmental affairs. Environmental affairs deals with what they are dealing with at local government in terms of waste management and other things. Local economic development is dealt with by ETIA. Now, when there is no understanding of how this pans out when it comes to oversight by the entire sector, which I believe is one of the areas that we must work together with AG through the road shows of AG to really send it out there, that it's not necessarily a legislature imposing, a provincial legislature imposing, but it's what the Constitution has given to the provincial legislatures as part of their work and developing these mechanisms of oversight and ensuring accountability. It's easy with the executive, the provincial executive committee, it's easy with them. They understand why we have to go to municipalities, and they understand that it's within the mechanisms that we have put in place and the rules. So I am saying that in short, we must do those joint programs to deal with such issues, but also we appreciate the work that you are doing. I will not forget whenever I stand here, or even when you are coming by MFMA, or whether you are coming by PFMA, because I said it on Friday or on our policy speech, that we look in earnest and wait, holding our breaths, for the day that the Auditor General of the Republic of South Africa tables 3 audit reports, not 2. We wait for that day where you will table 3 audit reports, not 2. For us as a sector AG, we appreciate that you audit the Municipal Finance Management Act audits. the Public Finance Management Act audits. But we are still waiting for you to actually table the Financial Management of Parliament and Provincial Legislators Act audits separate from those of the PFMA. But for today, we are welcoming you. We will engage with you, and we really appreciate that you have to take your time to come to us in KwaZulu-Natal. And we know that it's not that you did not want to come before. There was a time that we were prepared, but the program of the legislature was not allowing. I think, honorable members, I must disclose that. The AG has wanted to come at some point in time, but the program, Honorable Premier, was not allowing. There is a time that she ended up doing a virtual presentation. She was prepared to come physically to the House, but it was us as a legislature that at that point in time were unable to do that. I hope that the presentation that we are going to receive today, we are not only going to use it for political expediency as we go to 2024, but we will also use it to go back to our portfolio committees and do the work that we stood here for on the 26th of May, 2019, where we took the oath of office that we want to serve the people of KwaZulu-Natal, and we will respect and abide by the Constitution by bettering the committees that we work with and also contributing in the development of the people of the province. Wamkelekile eNatal.
Thank you very much, our honored speaker, Ms. Nontembeko Boyce, for those warm welcoming to our AG into the legislature of the province of KwaZulu-Natal. Thank you so much for that. We proceed. As we proceed, honored members, at this point, I would like to invite Ms. Tsakani Maluleke, the Auditor General of the Republic of South Africa, to make a presentation on the 2021-2022 audit outcomes. Thank you so much. Over to you, AG.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and a warm greeting to all of the honourable members. I'd like to greet my classmate, the honourable speaker. Good morning, Madam Premier, and a very warm greeting to all of the MECs that are here, all of the members of the Provincial Legislature, the DG I saw earlier on, the Secretary, and your team. And I'd like to also greet my team members from the formidable Team AGSA that are with me today. Thank you for this very warm welcome, for the opportunity for us to meet and look forward to visiting the province. And I'm pleased that we're able to do so today. Honourable Speaker, you start your comments by talking to the accountability ecosystem, which is something that we firmly believe, if properly, can really get us towards the positions and positioning them for better performance, integrity, transparency, and accountability. We've actually looked at that ecosystem and said all of us have a different role to the Constitution. If we look at the different pieces of legislation, if you look at where everybody's located, there is no single public institution that cannot be found with wraparound support, with wraparound monitoring and supervision and oversight. We firmly believe that if everything is triggered into better performance on its own mandate, we'll be able to make significant and sustainable shifts in the levels of performance and of accountability. I note from your comments, Honourable, this instrument, some way to go towards clarifying the roles of each of the different players. And I think it's a challenge, an invitation we would want to take up with you in terms of advocating our own assumptions about each of the different role players and where they should be located, that whilst all of our roles are distinct, if we play those roles consistently and to good effect and in a way that's complementary, we're going to start making the step change that we want to see. I note also from your comments, your invitation for the Audit Office to think about how we legislative sector. And I think it's an invitation that we can certainly take into proper consideration. Whilst we deal with PFMA and MFMA, we also note their own complexity and, yes, its own opportunities to make a solid contribution to the improved. I'll share an anecdote with you around the water boards.